Hi, fourth grade mathematicians. It's time for Math Moment with Mrs. Catlett. And yes, you guessed it, Pixel's right here. Look at him. He's ready to learn all about missing measurements of angles. So today we're going to revisit Module 4, Lesson 9. And if you're working in Zearn today, which I hope many of you are, if you're in Mission 4, this is the same unit as Mission 4 Lesson 9. So go back and visit this when you are on Lesson 9 in Mission 4. Let's read over our objective for a moment. I will find the missing measure of an unknown angle formed by two non-overlapping adjacent angles, given one or both measures. So I did circle the word adjacent, and I drew two adjacent angles. So if you look closely, you'll see angle ABD right here. And then the adjacent angle to ABD is DBC. Notice they're right next to each other. So before we get started, let's get our materials out. So you will need, hi Pascal, you won't need a cat for this today, I promise. But right now this is our lucky moment, we have two. You're going to get your color pencils or crayon. So you want to have blue, green, red, blue, green, and red, and then a pencil. I'm using markers so they show up on the camera. We are not going to use the projector, so you can get rid of that. The reason why is because we are going to use our problem-solving skills to get an exact measurement, the exact measure. If you look closely at your projector, your protractor, you see the marks. They're really small. And it is very easy to get off of count and lose your track. So you could count and think, oh, I know by using my protractor that this looks like 65 degrees and it could be 67 degrees, and you won't have an accurate answer. So we're gonna get the protractors out of there. Don't throw yours in the classroom, but you got the idea, not using that. I also circled adjacent, labeled it over here. You want these notes as well, because you're going to go back to these and use these. So some prior knowledge that we want to activate in our schema files of our brain is information about the right angle. Make sure you write that down. Information about acute angles. And if you noticed, I used the equal symbol because the right angle is equal to 90. The acute angle is less than 90, so I used the less than symbol. And then, of course, you already guessed it, obtuse is next, and obtuse is greater than 90 degrees. So make sure you have that information. Remember, at any moment, press pause and review your work and make sure your notes are exactly like they are in my notebook. Our first problem that we are going to work with to find the missing angle, and remember, we always go back to our objective and see the connection. We have a missing measure, and these are not overlapping angles, they are adjacent, and it's giving us 1. And here's your known information. So first, let's gather up our information before we start solving. Just like I say, look carefully and read carefully. Something you saw on the notebook already, the missing one, I color-coded red. And then we're going to label it X because we don't know what else it is, so we're going to call it X. And we are going to solve for angle HIK. We know that HIK is our missing information. We know that this green arc is what we want to figure out. We want to figure out how many degrees, we don't want to figure that out. We know this part. We want to figure out that part. So let's color code it so we can see that they are adjacent. And we know that Kij is equal to 63. It gives us that information. So if we wanted to connect this to something we have been using all along, make a strip diagram or a strip model, and we know that the total is a right angle. That Hij is a right angle. So that's our total, 90. And we have a part that we know, 63, and a part that we do not know. So we know that 90 degrees is equal to 63 degrees plus our unknown amount. So to find this out, we're going to have to do the opposite of addition. You know the total, so addition is not going to help you. When you have one part in the total, you know subtraction will help you. So we're going to go over here and write it down. This is going to be your scratch paper figuring. Right. Can I just subtract and put a 3 here? Oh, no, I can't. No way that we can take 3 away from a 0. So come over here, do your regrouping. Okay, check your work, make sure we did it right. And if I know my math, I'm going to double check my work. I'm going to take the part that I know with this part, add those together, and let's see if we get 90. Yes, so I've already checked my work. So 27 degrees is the angle measure for HIK, 27. So this is how you would show your work. If you're ever curious about, oh my goodness, she wants me to show work, what do I show? This is why we practice in our notebook. This is going to help you do well when you are asked to show your work on a test. Okay, we're going to move on to our next problem. We're going to label this one 2. And we have some known information and we have unknown information. And I already color coded our adjacent angles. Notice they're next to each other. We know that angle ABC is unknown to us. That information, this we know. CBD, 86 degrees. And then we know that there's DBE, 40 degrees. So we already have it written down. And this is a straight angle. So I wrote the measurement for a straight angle. I'm going to look at this with the information that I know. I know my straight angle is 180 degrees. And it is equal to I don't know about you all, but whenever I use the backs of the pages, but it's really hard to write on sometimes. Maybe your notebook's not like mine. I go back to what I know about a part-whole map, and I use that to help me. And I'm pulling from some skills that we all learned years before 4th grade. The whole amount of degrees, made that loop way too big. The whole amount of degrees is 180 degrees. And come on, Pix, your tail's not going to help us. We're going to divide this into parts. So we have 3 parts in the whole angle. The whole straight angle has 3 parts. So I'm going to put 1 part here. 86 there. And 40 right here. Okay, good job following along. And you're going to solve for x. So if I have 2 parts and I know the whole, I have more than 1 step. So I'm going to add these 2 together. I'm just going to do this right here. I have 8 tens plus 4 tens gives us 12 tens. And then 6 ones plus 0 gives us 6. 126 degrees. I have to take this number and I subtract it from the total amount. So write down the total. I'm just going to do a little subtraction over here. Should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh goodness, look what we have here, a 0 on top, more on the floor. We're going to go next door. Okay, so our unknown measure is known. So we will write down that angle ABC is equal to 54 degrees. All right, fantastic. Boys and girls, when you get finished with this, you're going to go on to Zearn. I want to see lessons completed and people making progress. Thank you for joining us. This one was a little bit longer, but there was a lot of great information. When you come to the table, we're going to do find the missing measure, and we're going to use rectangles. It's going to be a little bit more knowledge that we're going to use from what we learned about angles and the complete degree. If you get stuck, come back to this video, rewind it, and I will see you when it's time for your small group. I want you to make good choices. Pay attention to everything that is on your Canvas to-do list, and I will see you soon. All right, say goodbye to Pixel. He knows how to find measurement of missing angles just like you do.